Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
My Neighbor Zuckerberg is a Indus Vox media production. If you like this podcast, please also listen to Cyrus Says, an irreverent podcast hosted by funny man Cyrus Brocha, who takes a dig at urban India and interviews interesting guests every week. Episodes out every Monday.
You're listening to My Neighbor Zuckerberg.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of My Neighbor Zuckerberg. This is Nabil Merchant.
And Munaf Kapadia,
your host for today. So, we have a very interesting set of entrepreneurs today. These guys, will be akin to a Tony Stark. That's how cool they are.
The guy with the glowing thing in his chest.
Yeah. So they're dabbling with electronic circuits, hardware and software and
they're
shit
electricians.
Like that. Oh, no. They're glorified, I would say.
Avengers?
Yes, they're glorified Avengers. We've got Niket and Virang. They are the co-founders of an IoT startup called PicoStone. I won't spend too much time trying to explain what the company is. I'll just leave it to them to explain what PicoStone is all about. So, over to you guys.
Okay, so to begin with, to give you the insight which made PicoStone alive was we want to improve people's productivity, automating their personal spaces.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's the primary objective to do that.
Okay, so improving the productivity of their spaces.
No, improving their productivity using automating their spaces.
Okay.
So the first thing that becomes the most the enabler is the hardware that goes. So we've got two devices that are up and running. The first one is a basic and the second one is a Polo.
Okay.
So the basic is basically a lights and fans controller.
Okay.
And the Polar is your air conditioner, your set-top box, any IR device it can control. By the mix of the two and an ML and AI applied on top of that, it gives a varying automation to the home.
So PicoStone is in the home automation space, and you guys are figuring it out how to make it really productive and it can be scaled up for the masses, right?
How did this idea hit you guys? Like, were you sitting one day at home and you felt incredibly unproductive? You're like, hey, I wish I had an incredibly complicated piece of hardware that would switch off my television instead of the remote.
Not exactly, yeah, but we like, who'll get up and switch off the lights, where the switch is, where's the remote, so we're like, let's do it through the phone.
So basically, your awesome laziness has led to this invention.
Was it as simple as that, or did a specific use case actually arrive in your...
So basically, when you go into the night and you sleep, like, you get up in the middle of the night to switch off the AC. And then you turn on the fan, and after an hour, you feel cold again. You turn the fan off, you switch on the AC again. So you can't sleep. Like
you don't get that deep sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So after a tiring day, you come, you worked hard, then you gone to play football. You wanna just sleep. So basically, we thought let's have a system to do this for us. So that is where we like. He's an electronics engineer, and I'm from the computers background. So like. चल कुछ करते.
And then how long back was this thought of getting together and starting this?
So it was around a year ago, roughly a year ago. So we were sitting, we discussed this, and the idea came. Like, I told him कि ऐसा कर सकते हो. He like, he had a different set of cases. He's like, I'm already working on it. So the ideations matched, and then we like, let's do something together.
So if you guys had to give an elevator pitch, on PicoStone, like in 60 seconds, how would you define this business and the products that you guys are in?
Have you seen Jarvis?
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what we are gonna give you.
Oh, that happened in less than 6 seconds, by the way.
Yeah, we are obviously looking at things where you can control everything through your voice, like lights off, everything goes off. So we already had a prototype made in office. Yeah.
And to what extent have you guys been influenced by what's already happening in the IoT space? And just to elaborate on this, IoT is Internet of Things.
Correct.
How should we describe Internet of Things?
I think let them decide.
Let
how
the
they want to describe
what
the IoT or Internet of Things actually really is.
Okay, so let's consider any object, and if you give it the power to able to communicate back with you, it becomes Internet of Things. As long as it doesn't communicate with you, it's just a thing.
So I and Nabila.
Anything that does not communicate previously.
So
and you
Munaf
give
is a
like-
thing. I'm just letting you guys know he's a thing.
I have a
And
fantastic
he's
thing.
trying to communicate with me. So basically, he's as a product becomes the internet of things. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
If you communicate through internet.
So IoT has been a very active space of late. I think maybe in the last 4-5 years we've been
I
seeing
think
a
the last
lot of.
couple of years, I would say. Or is it 4-5 years? I mean,
No, it's just picking up. So the growth is exponential. In the next, by 2020, the data that is gonna be collected through IoT, it's roughly estimated to be around 10.3 trillion GB.
What?
GBs.
Are you serious? Oh God, how many hard disks is that? Like how many pen drives?
Too many, right?
Okay, so that's a lot of data.
so let's understand this. So y'all are focusing in the IoT space. Y'all want to make the home smarter, so it increases the productivity of the people that stay inside the home. A home is a personal space. This could apply to offices. This could maybe even apply to cars as well, right? So that's the space that PicoStone operates in. And the first thing that you all have figured out is how to be able to create the right kind of hardware and software to control the most basic devices, that is your lights, fans, ACs, right? So the first part is something that you guys have achieved, that is control, right? Switching on and switching off. Let's get slightly more deeper and understand what else will as a business or as a product can I do after having the PicoStone interface with me or the software and the hardware with me.
So it's just a one-stop platform for everything, right? So let's begin. So your door cams,
Okay.
your geysers can be controlled. You can know when your refrigerator is getting empty. You know when your refrigerator doors are left open.
Okay.
You can know when you require a filter change in your air conditioner, when you need to change devices at your home because they are power hogging. There are n number of things that you can do once a platform is in place.
Okay.
And this is just the consumer side of it. Now, even from a manufacturer point of view, it's extremely important.
Okay.
So right now, the manufacturer of, let's say, this AC, which is Samsung, they don't know how you're using it. But
Right.
through this, since you'll be using it through the app, Samsung can get a live feedback of how you're using it. That would mean they can improve their product quality and a better product that can deliver to the consumers. So something like a real analytics that's not there previously in the hardware space.
So in my mind, as I visualize all of this, I'm thinking this only works with the most cutting edge ACs and cutting edge fridges and this and that. Is that true?
No, so it works with anything that has a basic, simple remote control. That's it, nothing else. Need not be any fancy stuff.
Okay, that's very interesting.
And the devices that we've made, we've designed them in such a way that, it retrofits. You do not have to do a lot of rewiring, like you do not have to do any rewiring.
So can you take me through? So for example, I have a very life example of a need for a PicoStone product. Tell me if it actually makes sense. Very massive electricity bill.
Okay.
I know that we have a couple of products which probably use a lot of electricity in the house. I have a water pump, I have an old air conditioner, etc. But my father, he refuses to change anything until he has proof that it actually makes sense to invest money in changing this product. Like we don't know how much electricity it consumes. So I'm stuck. I don't know what to do about this. Can your solution help me out?
Oh yeah, definitely. So we've got these energy monitoring systems that
Okay.
plugged into your home will give you live statistics about individual device-wise how things are being used. So how your geyser is being used, how your washing machine is being used. So you can pinpoint of how much energy which device is consuming.
Now I'm visualizing some funky device with wires going all over my house.
Oh no, nothing. So you already have wires going all over your internally, right, on your
Right,
conceal. It
right.
just taps onto the existing wires to get the live data. It does not
Can it
need
take
not be
over
new
my
wires.
house and then eat me in the night or something? So you will pick up energy consumption per product.
Yes. Per
Interesting.
appliance.
And how difficult is this to implement? How does it work?
Oh, so we've got our sensors that are plugged into your main live system, and then it sends back the data to a server where our servers are crunching down those numbers and giving you live statistics.
Okay.
So you'll have all graphs and stuff on your phone where, you can see spikes and go back to the 10th standard where you can read graphs.
And then I'm guessing this costs 15 lakhs.
Oh, not it's pretty
Remove
cheap.
2 zeros.
But interesting, guys. So, the minute we started talking about PicoStone, the minute I started reading about it, okay, the first question that hit me was, you guys are a year old. I'm sure you've been influenced by the other IoT products, not in India, but abroad. You've got Google Home happening, you've got Nest happening, you've got XYZ happening. But what clearly stands out immediately from your phase 1 of launch itself is this seems like a solution for developing countries and something which is far simpler Am I getting this right, or is there a different way in which you want to talk about it?
Oh no, it's extremely affordable and extremely easy to install. That's the major point. Unlike the other brands which take a very huge money hole into your pocket and take a very long time to install.
So how has that happened? How has that happened that your product can be so affordable and so easy to install, whereas the biggest company in Silicon Valley has created a product which is so expensive?
So the whole thing is we've being the so Virang comes from an electronics background, I come from a computer background, as I said. So both of us have the whole stack developed by ourselves.
Okay.
So the software and the hardware is, both done between the two of us, and then we had a team that, helped us scale to the product size market. So that being a major cost saving again, and all our products are done in India.
It's made in India?
Yeah.
So I want to stay on the hardware bit, right? I mean, we've been hearing the fact that the hardware is very easy to install, right? Could you just throw some light? Because the first thing that, we all envisage, right, and all what we all think about when we're wanting to automate our homes is that, again, like Munaf was saying, circuitry of wires going behind your main switchboard or something of that sort. So we've constantly been hearing the fact that it's so easy to install, so easy to implement. You can just throw some light on how does this work, right? So
just to give you a gist, our hardware size, the size of our device that controls your lights and fans is approximately the size of your visiting card.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the device is the size of your visiting card, right?
Yes.
That's small. And where does it fit? Where is it supposed to fit? I mean, how are you making this this small, and how many such devices are required to be able to automate an entire home?
So the device being so small, it goes behind your switchboards. It goes behind your switches.
Okay.
It goes behind my switchboard. Okay.
Yes. So so for a room which has say a fan and 3 lights, you'll just need one device. That is a general bedroom.
So you're saying that 4 switches are controlled by one device?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So typically, if I'm looking at a 2 BHK home, right, I would require approximately around 6 to 8 devices. So we got 6 spaces, right? 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a living room, and a kitchen, right? So that's 6 spaces.
So is it work? Like, do you need a device per switchboard? Do you need a device per number of fans, number of switches?
It's
How does
a
it work,
device per switchboard.
Okay.
So 4 switches in a switchboard, you put one device.
But if you have, I don't know if it's interesting or not, but if you have, let's say, 16 switches, you have a really mega switchboard. Do you need multiple devices, or is it still specific?
You need multiple devices, but then still we are working on making a bigger set of devices where you can accommodate 8 switches, 6 switches.
Makes sense. And this is the basic solution.
Yeah, it's a completely modular thing. You can plug in as many as you want in your entire home.
So take me to this process, right? So I've got a switchboard. This particular, all that the electrician needs to do is take out that switchboard and plug this particular device behind the switchboard.
Yes.
That's about, and it fits in quite beautifully, in the same, millimeters of space or centimeters of space that has been created in the switchboard.
Oh yeah, it doesn't change any aesthetics of your home.
Nothing.
So
I'm not worried about repainting or something getting spoiled. Nothing of that sort.
Nothing.
But you need an electrician, no?
No, you can do a DIY.
Wow, right?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. So you're saying
Without
that
blowing
this.
up my house.
Yes.
So you're saying that as
just follow the instructions on the manual.
Instruction number 1: don't blow up your house.
Yeah.
On this note, we need to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Hey friend, so if you're listening to a podcast right now, you're probably some kind of a nerd. A nerd at heart, at least. So maybe, just maybe, you might like another podcast about nerds, by nerds, and for nerds.
It's called Geek Fruit, a community to unite estranged geeks from across India and later on the world. We talk about television, movies, science fiction, adventure, fantasy, etc. Anything nerdy, it's all here on Geek Fruit. You can catch a fresh episode every Monday and a retcon episode every Tuesday.
And you can check us out on iTunes, Audioboom, Stitcher, or any of your favorite podcast apps. Like my favorite podcast app, the IVM podcast app. Give me my money, IVM.
Good plug.
Happy listening, you nerds.
So guys, we're back from our break, and the one thing that's just been going on in our minds is, are the two of you scamming us?
No.
Are you telling us that the two of you, however intelligent, however smart you guys obviously are, managed to create something which the biggest IT players in India and even abroad have invested billions of dollars in, and they're still working on perfecting?
Oh yeah, so we did a very simple thing, right? We built it layer-wise. So we got the hardware in place, then we got the software running on it, and then we got the apps running on
Dude,
it.
you're talking about it like it's an ice cream cake.
It went like that for us.
So obviously we had a team that helped us do it. We started with the base, and then everyone came in and gave their contribution, and
You're tremendously oversimplifying it, and I would just like our listeners to understand what these guys have created. It's very difficult for entrepreneurs, unlike Nabil and Munaf Kapadia, to boast about themselves and actually establish what they've created, and we would like to do that on behalf of them.
Oh, absolutely.
So these guys have created a solution. Like Google, for example, has created something called Google Home. They've created that after years and years of R&D and this and that, and the product, I don't know what it starts at. Like it's at least 25,000-30,000 rupees.
Easily.
Oh, $129.
Okay, and it's a voice-activated system which integrates itself into IoT
Correct,
devices.
it can't do anything on its own.
So it's an input
Correct.
device.
Yeah.
Nest thermostats, how much do they start at?
$250.
250.
Okay, that's
around 15K.
And you've created an IoT device
Which has
starts-
all these things, right? Google Home,
yeah,
Nest.
which integrates with these things, which does these things themselves, etc., which starts at
4,000
rupees.
Yeah.
And I think that's remarkable, guys. And it's remarkable that you're speaking about this like you made ice cream cake.
Who are you guys competing with? Like, tell us one competitor. Are there no competitors that are out there doing exactly what your guys are doing, or at least attempting
So
to do
there
what you
are
guys are
there
doing?
are a lot of big players. Lutron,
Okay.
Crestron. They've priced it extremely expensively. They're priced at 5 to 6 lakhs a room.
Which one is this? Which solution is this?
Lutron.
Utron. 5 to 6 lakh rupees a room.
Yes.
And
For
you're
the
doing the
single-
same room for less than around 7 to 8 odd K.
Oh yeah, so
No,
ours
no,
is done
no.
in 15K.
There has to be a catch.
Oh my
out
god.
there.
No, there has to be a catch in that. So you're talking about, so 15K is
Yep.
your solution. And that's approximately, I mean, how many X? Like around close to 30X?
Yep, 30x.
Does a really
30X.
pretty
Yes.
lady come and install the Utron solution? There has to be some differentiator, guys. And I'm being very serious. Forget my
Okay, so I'll
stupid
tell you a
mouth.
very simple way of thinking about it. So if you go for these expensive systems, they're a wired solution. So you need to be running your wires throughout your home. Instead, we replaced it by a Wi-Fi based system. So that
Okay.
means there are no wires that we have hassling around.
It's wireless. All right.
Yep. The next thing is that they have a very expensive hub that is costing 50 to 60,000 bucks.
What kind of hub is this?
So these are like servers that run inside your home.
Inside our home.
Yeah, that controls everything.
Everything is on the cloud over here.
Yeah, so what we thought is why not
Guys
the
are so
cloud be
smart.
the cloud be the servers. So simply we shifted that focus. That gave us a very big boost.
So wireless to wireless,
Wireless
server to
wireless.
cloud.
Yeah, from the servers to the cloud. And the next thing is that they looked at a very expensive system because, so let's consider even for these lights controlling, they were giving 5 amps of output, which is not really required. So we downsized it, and we are
You
giving
mean
it
1 or 2?
1 or 2 amps exactly. So you're costing down your components by 1/5.
So this highlights the creativity and intelligence that has gone into the approach you've applied to it. Have you guys done anything else which you feel has remarkably brought your cost down?
Oh yeah, so is the operations, right? So they require a dealer to come and install it. The
Right.
dealer requires a lot of manpower to do that. As is a DIY, you can call a regular electrician and do it for $150.
And when I was going through your website, one thing that stood out for me, and maybe that was the wrong thing to stand out, was IR. The fact that you guys leverage infrared to speak to old-fashioned devices, because even the most old-fashioned devices have infrared enabled remotes. Is that something even the other guys do?
Oh yeah, a few of them do that.
Alright.
It do exist.
So we're in this. You're in a space, right, where the big players are just trying to grapple, to create a solution that is so scalable and that is so affordable, right? So how many customers have you guys served till now? Let's just put it. How many people have actually used your product?
So 120
till date?
homes, an entire school done in Thane.
An entire school done in Thane. So how
Yes.
big was the school?
So the school spreads across 3 buildings.
So how do kids remote control them?
Oh no, it's only the access is only given to the watchmen and the principals.
So 3 buildings in Thane,
Yep,
right? How many classrooms are we talking about?
56.
56 classrooms, all automated.
Yes, and just to tell you, we did the whole installation in 2 days.
2 days.
Yes.
56 classrooms, 2 days.
3
And
buildings.
Yes.
So let's use this school as a case study, right? I'm guessing a lot of power savings. Am I right?
Oh yes.
Like what kind of recorded power savings has a school
Oh,
seen till now?
So it's going to be a 25% power saving for them. So to just give you a
Like
wide
straight off the bat, 25%.
Yes. So just to give you an example of how that works out is, so if the school remains running for 6 hours of the day, it shuts for the rest 18 hours of the day. But if you miss a light switch on, it's on for the next 18 hours. That means a 3x loss directly. Right. So that's where the profitability for the school comes in.
Just to tell you about the school, the best part was when we finished the whole installation, we had the tab in our hand, one button, the whole school's off.
Wow, what power, man!
So can you guys blackmail the school now?
Okay, wait, stay over here. I think this is a good. This is a good part out here, right? You got 120 homes currently that you installed this device, and then tomorrow there'll be approximately 12,000 and 12 million homes, right?
Absolutely.
What Munaf is actually pointing out here is so much of control coming into your hands, right? Because technically, right, this is all this information is on the cloud, right? All this interaction is happening on the cloud server. It's not a personal server which rests at my place, right? So I, as a customer, is giving so much of control to the owner of this brand or this product. Right? I don't have control over it. Tomorrow, this system can be hacked.
So what's your security protocol?
Yeah, what's the security protocol? Yeah, perfect.
Oh, so it's an extremely simple way to tackle that, right? So everything is encrypted, it's SSL protected. It has all the latest technologies, certifications completed on the server side to keep it secured.
Wow.
And all the communications that are from the devices to our devices to your cell phones all are encrypted internally. So even if someone is eavesdropping into your Wi-Fi networks, they still don't know how you're communicating with the devices. So it's completely protected.
So if your Wi-Fi is hacked, your devices are still hacked.
Oh wow, so even though it doesn't... Okay, I get that. Wow.
So in case you give your password to someone, you need not worry that you'll be able to control it. It's completely driven by an access management system, which is in your hands to give the access to whoever you want to. So unless your permission, not even the company servers can actually look at the data.
So can you do that fingerprint scanning thing and stuff like that?
That could be the integration that moving forward we can work out.
So 120 customers, right? You think, what do you guys think? 120 customers is a good sample set to have tested your product? I mean, what kind of problems or I would say challenges do you envisage, scaling up this product?
Are these 120 customers happy?
Perfect. Yeah, they are happy, but obviously these are like the early adopters, so we obviously welcome the criticisms. So whatever the feedback that is from them, we take them up, we try and solve it, and we try and resolve it.
So the thing is that the users are using it extremely well. The thing is, so we've got a statistics that run behind that tells us how many times you use it from the regular switchboard and how many times from the app. 50% of the times it's always used from the cell phone. That would mean there's a conversion ratio and there's a behavioral change that's coming into the picture.
1 out of 2 times.
Yeah.
Wow, so 1 out of 2 times that they decided to switch on the television was through your app.
Yes, correct.
So that's a proper behavioral change. Which we all know is a very difficult thing to achieve.
So Munafa and I have clearly understood the product that you guys have built, right, and the space that you guys are in. Clearly, I think every home in the city in urban India deserves a solution like this, right? So I think the talking about the market size is just it makes no sense because
it's
every home requires this. There are 11 institution requires
households
this.
in India, urban households.
Absolutely right. So
Ka-ching!
So, what's your go-to-market strategy? Now, the fact that you know that 120 customers have adopted your product, right? I think it's how do you see yourselves, building PicoStone into one of the largest
Rock.
Yeah, Pico Rock. Like IoT, home automated, companies. Not only in India but in the world, right? I mean, what's your 3-year vision like, right? So, the next 6 months, and then where do you see this whole thing going in the next 3 years?
So, to break it up, the first thing in the 6 months, the first thing would be B2B, B2C, getting to as many homes as possible. Since there are 2 products that we've begun with, and there are lots of others in the pipeline, one of them, that is a Polar, can go B2C, which is directly shipping them to their wherever they stay across India, right, and they can use it. And the other one requires installation. That is also shippable and can be done by a regular electrician. So it's a very B2C based strategy to moving forth. And then as the number of customers pick up, there'll be B2Bs who will be coming in, who will be doing the dealership and the distributorship.
Also to add to it, with Google Home and the Home Assistants coming in, obviously they'll require enablers.
So you're the hardware behind that?
Yes, so we want to be the hardware behind it. So obviously to control your lights, fans, ACs, everything, you'll need devices to integrate with these devices like the assistants.
So a natural question that might come on anyone's mind is, in India you're kind of creating the market. Why not tap into places where the market already exists? What's stopping you from going abroad with this?
Okay, so in abroad there are already a lot of technologies that exist on a similar scale, but it's extremely expensive. The thing is, born in India, patriotic to India, want to do something for India. That's the major drive factor, and if we can deliver something for the masses in India, it's something that's fabulous. And the end goal is to build the biggest tech company in India.
Yeah,
Wow.
fantastic. Alright guys, thank you so much. Now if our listeners are intrigued and they want to read up more about your product and actually subscribe to it or order for it, how should they do that?
So they could just go to the website, that's picostone.com, or they go to Amazon or Flipkart and buy the products from there.
Lovely, fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for coming to the studio today and exposing us to all the amazing things that you guys are doing.
Thank you for inviting
Thank you
us.
for having
Thanks,
us.
Niket.
And this is Munaf Kapadia,
And this is Nabil Merchant.
signing out from My Neighbor Zuckerberg. Thank you.
That was an episode of My Neighbor Zuckerberg, brought to you by Indus Vox Media and media partners Inc. 42.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out IVM Podcasts to get some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.